Good afternoon. The time is 3:01 on Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. I will call to order the July meeting of the Norwalk Board of Fire Commissioners. We have a quorum with Commissioner Destruz, Commissioner Dixon, and Mayor Rilling. First item on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion is moved. And do we have any corrections, deletions, omissions?
Yes, I have two. On page 2 at the very top, where we are approving the minutes, it says the May 21, 24 meeting. It should, I'm sorry, it says the April 16, 2024. It should read May 21st, 2024 meeting.
Okay.
And then on page 4, first paragraph, second line, it says that training. I think we needed to say that trained or for training. I'm not sure. It just didn't read right.
Okay. And we note that we've been joined by Commissioner Paskind, and we are now in the minutes if you have any corrections or deletions. You're on mute right now.
I just said hello.
Hello. Okay, are there any further corrections or deletions or omissions? Seeing none, all, I'm sorry.
I don't have any.
Okay, seeing none, all in favor of the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. There are no action items. Chief, we have the fire chief's report.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So as you know, we are July, but we are always a month behind in our reports. So looking at the budget report, you'll see through the month of June of last year, there's a surplus in the salary expenses and in the overtime expenses. But remember that 2 weeks in the month of July are taking out of the June year. So the true reflection of the budget will come next month when we incorporate those 2 weeks. So those numbers will go down, but very slightly will they go down. And I don't foresee any type of negative in any of those balances. All of the other remaining accounts in salary and overtime are all, less than 100. Nobody's gone over 100%. And the overall is 90.5%. So we actually made it through with no problems. And just one mention of the sick time is trending in the right direction again for June. Compared to the whole year of last year, we are actually almost 100 shifts less than last year as far as sick time goes.
Okay.
So that's it. And the next month we'll have the complete year picture to report.
Okay, any comments or questions from the commission?
No questions. Just thank you for keeping us in the black. So really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next, we have the Assistant Fire Chief of Administration, Assistant Chief Conti.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. Just
Good afternoon.
a brief update on the ongoing projects we have. At Station 1, with the apparatus floor, we had the companies come and they did test boring holes and soil testing. So I'm waiting on their report. They're going to gather all the information and figure out what needs to be done. There was definitely some undermining in the foundation wall, basically the wall that borders the baseball park. We saw daylight underneath it. So there's definitely going to be some underpinning going on, but I'm just finding out the scope of work. I should hopefully have it for you next meeting, and we can discuss what needs to be done. For Station 3, we actually, it went out, it should be going out today. I should be meeting with the lowest responsible bidder contractor, hopefully by the end of this week, and we can kind of discuss the scope of work and get on the same page, and I can bring it, to common council so we can move forward on that project. Station 4, I'm still working with Alan Lowe on a updated cost analysis from the first one we did. We're working through that, and we'll have that one as soon as we can. I met with Guardian. It was that at this point, it was last month. But we've basically figured out a few things we can do at Station 4 now to basic patching some holes and just some light replacement in the apparatus floor, things that we can do that will be maybe some permanent measures that would last through any type of other any future projects. But I'm working with them and with Neil Reddy, and it's been they started even today, they started doing some patching again, so they'll be there this weekend. So it's just going to be ongoing throughout the year as we see things and identify them. For the overhead door replacement, we're getting those final quotes from Hartford Overhead. The overhead door companies are very difficult right now. I think it's another one of those issues where there's just a delay in product. So we're trying to get that moving forward because we've got some pretty old doors, and I want to get that project started. And for our records management software, just spoke with Corporation Council, and they're actually working with them. They sent something out today, so hopefully I can have that software contract signed, and we can start migrating all of our data over. It's a lengthy process. We've had to do it before, so our other software runs out should be January, somewhere in January there, and so we want to be completely moved over before then.
Okay.
Any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Commissioners? Okay, thank you for your report. Now we're at the Assistant Fire Chief of Operations, Assistant Chief McCabe.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Under Operations, item A is the annual 4th of July fireworks. Norwalk Fire, as usual, provided an engine company and a fireboat as part of the citywide event action plan. And our firefighters and marshals on scene reported no issues. As always, the city put on a great show. Item B, a new command car to replace the current car 2 is budgeted and being designed. The command car responds to all fires, all full assignments, motor vehicle accidents, and special calls. It's staffed by the deputy chief, the shift commander, and also his aide who drives him. And it carries mobile radios, portable radios, laptop computer, pre-plan information, and the incident command board. So we're in the process now of getting feedback from our deputy chiefs and their drivers for the design of that new car, and that will be ongoing in the next month or so. Item C, the 8 firefighters who were hired in June of 2023 have finished their probationary period. They've all received their black helmet shields as per tradition, and they're all advancing well in their job skills. Now at the point where they're taking on additional roles such as driving, pump operating, moving from the engine company to the rescue and to the truck companies. So they're all progressing as we'd hoped. Under calls for June 2024, we had 703 incidents, so just over 23 per day average. We had 21 fires, 52 rescues, 431 emergency medical responses, 34 hazardous conditions, 23 service calls, 85 fire alarms, which was down quite a bit from the previous month, and we had 57 good intent. So looking at our statistics, January 1st through June 30th, we are at 3,914 incidents and 6,132 total responses. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
No
So
questions,
I
thanks.
notice it seems that things are settling in a bit after the number of increase in residents that you're having fewer calls now than you had in 2023.
Yes. So I think we're, although we're down, we're trending probably to do about the same number as last year.
Right.
The months go on.
Yep. Very good. Okay, so we can move on to Fire Marshal's report. Fire Marshal McDonald.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
So our statistics for the month of June fluctuated a little bit from the previous month. Our inspections look like they're at 174, which is up from 148 in May, which is good. Notifications was down from 42 to 19. Our plan reviews were up 35 versus 31 for a total dollar income of $4,450. For the fire marshal investigations, our call outs, unfortunately, our number of fires was up from 3 last in May to 5 in June. Code hazards was about the same, 1 for both months, for a total of 6 investigations that the fire marshal's office was called out for. So again, the numbers fluctuate a little bit, but overall, about the same.
Mhm.
Any questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
Okay, and-
Mayor, can I just say that Kirk McDonald is the acting fire marshal now,
right.
so we can
Mhm.
find a replacement.
Right.
So I just wanted to, since Project retired last month.
Right. Now, what's the process in place for filling the fire marshal spot?
There's
Is-
got to be a competitive exam that has to be given. And then the commissioners can decide or pick anybody in the top 3 ranking according to the contract. But we have to sit down with personnel director and the union president and discuss some requirements in the position.
Okay, yeah, we'd probably want to take care of that as soon as we can.
Yeah, right. Well, the union president's going away for 6 weeks, I believe.
Can you can he authorize you to deal with the assistant or the vice president?
Oh, yeah, we could actually start talks with that. It's up to Tina to, her schedule and whether or not she wants to start
I
discussing
believe
it.
I believe the union president's going to Greece,
Yes,
and Commissioner DeStrouge is always in Greece, and he gets on the line.
Yes.
So we should be able to come to some agreement,
We
rather
should. I
than
mean,
rather
it's
than
only
delay
a-
the process.
Yeah, it's only a 7-hour time difference.
There you go. So we call them at 10
10
o'clock in the morning, and
10
it's
o'clock.
yeah.
yep.
Or
Eastern
10 o'clock
time.
at night. Yeah, 3.
Okay, great. Thank you. That brings us to emergency management, Ms. DeLuca.
Good afternoon.
Good
Um,
afternoon.
So we did, like Assistant Chief McCabe mentioned, we had the fireworks. The event action plan had gone out pretty easily with the group. So no issues on that. We'll do the same for the Oyster Festival. And then typically either PD or EMS will do an event action plan for the boat show. So those really are the big ones coming up in the fall. Focusing right now on summer safety. Obviously, it's hot outside. So continuing to send messages with Michelle Woods Matthews, social media, community partners, on just like overall heat safety tips. I know Craig Schmidt sent out something to department heads for employees that are working outside. So again, just kind of reiterating the same messages, stay hydrated, looking for signs of heat illness. And again, we've sent those messages to the community partners. We'll do the same for thunderstorms. So yesterday we had quite an afternoon with severe weather. most likely today and maybe tomorrow, and then hopefully temperatures will cool down. But we do have some safety messages prepared, some infographics for social media, and we'll just keep the community updated as needed. But again, I think a lot of people, as they see things roll in, do seek shelter inside. So to my knowledge, there really were no issues yesterday during the thunderstorms. We did officially make the switch to Everbridge on July 1. We've had about 350 people sign up on the resident portal, which is actually pretty good for 2 weeks. And again, throughout the summer and hurricane season, we'll continue to push the link and the text Norwalk CT to 888-777, and then people can get the link there as well. So again, my guess is maybe by the end of summer, we'll have about 1,000 or so people register. Weather permitting, I'll do the summer concert tomorrow with the health department, and maybe 1 or 2 more in August to again talk about safety and then encourage people to sign up. And I think that's it. Open house on September 28th. So again, we'll continue to push hurricane and our usual safety messages there as well. And that's it.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank
Commissioners, comments, questions?
No questions.
Yeah,
Thank you,
forgive
Michelle.
my ignorance. I'll just
Commissioner Pascal?
continue to play the new girl in town. You mentioned, what was it, Everbridge?
Oh,
Yep.
yes.
Can you explain for me what that means?
Sure. So in the past, we had a vendor called Code Red or Unsolve for the mass notification messages. So for something kind of bigger than a bread box, where we wanted to directly contact residents through phone, text, email, that was the vendor that we used. In July or on July 1, we just switched to a new vendor. So for the most part, residents, other than the sign up portal, and getting a few new tools, really the public doesn't see a whole lot of change. It's just more on our end on the administrative side.
So when you said like you have 350 people signed up, like why would you want someone to sign up, and like, do you want more to, and how would you get them to do that?
Yep. So a lot of times if people have unregistered phone numbers or again, cell phones, or they want to get messages through text, maybe not phone calls, or emails, they would have to go to the resident portal and add that additional information. They can also sign up to receive severe or severe weather warnings from the National Weather Service directly. So if they wanted, again, to get direct notification about severe thunderstorms, but not hurricanes, they can actually pick and choose which disaster they want to learn more about. And again, those come directly from the National Weather Service, and they opt in for those. So when we made this switch, we weren't able to take the data from our old carrier, which actually was pretty good because it really gave us a fresh start. So now it's just going to be a matter of educating residents about signing up. But we do have a starting database of listed phone numbers and voice over IP numbers. So we have about 56,000 contacts already in our database, and then people can just add more, again, cell phone, text, email, or emails as well.
That sounds good. Can I just ask another question?
Of
on
course.
this topic? Like, if I'm just a regular resident, like, how would I know to do that? Like, where's that information?
Yeah, so we started a push on social media, and we're continuing
On
to
the
do
Norwalk
that.
Facebook page?
Yep, on this, well, we've got city's website and then the social media platforms. I know we did a press release, I want to say on July 1 or 2, when we first launched. And going forward, what we'll start to do is when we do more press releases that are, again, maybe it's thunderstorm safety tips or hurricane safety tips, or again, if we do have something actually come our way, all of our messaging will include that tagline of you if you want to sign up. And again, I'll be at the concert tomorrow at the beach, weather permitting. So in a lot of, again, the in-person pub ed to help people and encourage them to sign up.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions?
Nope.
Thank you, Mr. Luca.
Thank you.
That brings us to the training division. Deputy Chief Capola.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioner Struge, Askein,
Afternoon.
Dixon. Just a couple of highlights for the month, current training activities. Due to the nice weather, we've been doing a lot of marine operations, including Zodiac boat deployment and deploying an inflatable raft off of our marine unit. We've been doing a lot of new member orientation, continuing. All probationary members are given a task book, and it's up to their officers to use the items in the task book as training sessions. So the company officers that have probationary members assigned to them have been working on those, and everything I'm hearing is good. They're doing a good job with them. We did some rapid intervention team training, removal of downed firefighters. That's a kind of drill you could kind of do in the firehouse, so you kind of keep out of the sunlight if it's a warm day. Continuing a lot of EVOC training. EVOC means emergency vehicle operation course, and that is where we take we have a bunch of cones and we take them to an open area like Vets Park, and we set up a obstacle course for the operators, and that's how we train and sign off drivers for the aerial truck and the pump apparatus. We're still wrapping up on physicals. I just made a list today on the spreadsheet just to kind of remind myself of what I still need to do, and we are just about done. We have a few people that have been out on extended leave, either due to a surgery or we do have currently one of our members that is on maternity leave. So when those individuals come back, we'll get those physicals done, but we're just about done with them. And it's been a pretty long process, but very smooth. And I actually sent a note to Tina Fogel today, just giving her some feedback on how it was really a pleasure dealing with Hartford Healthcare for the physicals. I got a lot of extremely positive feedback from our members, and that is not always easy to come by when you're doing things like this. So I was pleased with that. So that's really, I'm really pleased that that's, it's like a obstacle, not an obstacle, but a goal achieved. I think that's a better way to say it. And I'm just trying to keep the members inside during these extreme hot days. Just kind of going over, we're doing some policy review, things we could do inside, rope knot tying off tools, things that you kind of do without gear on or limited amount of gear on, and indoors, even inside, the basement of the firehouse or something, just to kind of keep it cool. So that's what we're currently working on. Completed activities. We did a tabletop exercise with King Industries. It was a simulated tanker crash with a train at the grade crossing, and that involved ourselves, Newark Police, EMS, Metro North, MTA Police, and all the King personnel. So that was a good morning of training. We have another member signed off on the aerial tiller operator, Kevin Gilchrist Jr. We did some foam operation refreshers, which is good because that was something we directly applied to the bridge incident we had back in May. The rescue company has been doing a lot of rope training. We completed a lot of rope training for confined space incidents, including packaging patients into a device that we use to remove them from a confined space. And we do a lot of portable ladder deployment drills with PPE and tools. Upcoming scheduled, still have that Fire Officer 1 certification contract class on our schedule for fall of 24. It starts in October. Norwalk High School and Wegmans construction sites both contacted me to ask if we would like to do walkthroughs of the construction project. And we are going to do that. These aren't the ideal days to do that, but I'm going to schedule some of that probably into the next month. What else? I'm trying to get some CPR refresher makeup classes. We have a couple members who need CPR kind of mid-year, so we're gonna schedule a class for that. I put a Metro North Railroad safety class on the schedule, and as you can see from the minutes, that is a free course, so that's nice. I scheduled it's Connecticut Department of Transportation Traffic Incident Management class for September and October. It's free to us. It's a full day class, and we're gonna deliver 8 deliveries, meaning we'll catch half shift each day. It won't be 8 hours, but it's a full day of training. So I wanted to break it up, and they agreed to do that class over 8 days. So that's really good, considering what's been going on lately in the state with state trooper getting killed, DOT worker getting killed. And in Greenwich, a fire truck got hit a couple of weeks ago with 3 members inside of it, all who needed to be extricated. They were blocking a traffic accident on I-95. And so when I saw that, finally, I'm like, we need to make sure that, we're aware of what's going on. And our members are aware of what's going on out there. However, there's a lot. I took the class myself, and there's a lot of good reminders in there. So I'm really excited that they're bringing that here. It's taught by a retired state trooper and a traffic expert that work for the state of Connecticut. And then also Eversource offered to come in and do some training on underground electrical safety. The trend for electrical utilities for new construction is really trending underground now. And so we kind of need to be aware of what some of the hazards are, some of the things we should be looking for underground electrical hazards. And that also is free. So I got 3 really good classes coming in, and not one of them costs a dime, and it's gonna be a lot of good training. So I'm really happy about that. That's my report. I'll take any questions.
Great. As I always say, a very comprehensive report. And we're always impressed about the amount of training that our firefighters go through. And I think I know everybody appreciates the fire department. I just don't think they understand all the comprehensive things that you do, not just running and putting out a fire. There's so much more to being a firefighter and so much more that you do for the city. I don't know if there's any way that we can communicate that in an effective way, whether we do a fire academy of some sort like the police department does, just something to let people understand just how complex your duties are and all the things that occur during the month.
Yeah, I'd like to do something like that, Mayor. That's a great idea. They do the Fire Ops 101 is a program that's done around the state. I could try to get one locally. It's mostly for elected officials, however, but that's good because they could take the information out to their constituents and kind of help us spread the word of what we're doing. So I think a Fire Ops 101 delivery locally would be good, and I could do that regionally. I can get on the line with surrounding training chiefs, and we meet every month anyway, so it's something to talk about to get one down here. It's a good fall thing to do because the weather is a little better.
Yeah.
Also just on item 5 on the training activities for the DOT management traffic incident management class. I just want to also add that I reached out to Terry Blake and Sophia Galino, training officer, police, and invited them to also take the class with us any one of those days if they had any members that wanted to join in. Also EMS, I offered some seats to them. With 8 deliveries and us splitting the city in half with manpower, we should have plenty of extra spots in those classes. So hopefully they'll reach out and take some of those spots so we could do it together because we're all out there.
Good, you're right. And I think it's always good when our first responders train together because, as you say, you respond together, you really should know a little bit more about that response and how you can complement each other during those times.
Yeah, great, we have a great working relationship with both PD and EMS, really do. I see it all the time. Thank you.
Commissioners.
Just thank you for the report. Always appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next item, local 830. There is no, there are no items, old business, no items, new business, no items, correspondence.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
if I may interrupt from the local 830.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. We didn't submit anything, but I wanted to, in light of what you were saying about working with the PD and EMS and the variety of incidents we respond to, I think it would be good I wanted to highlight something that happened yesterday. We had a water rescue where PD
saw
and
that.
FP worked together, and I don't know if the commissioners are aware. There's a full write-up on our website about the particulars of it, but I wanted to acknowledge firefighter Dave Dutson and the engine company and the rescue company that played a tremendous role, putting themselves in great harm's way to rescue that individual. So just
No, I agree. I read about that. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure that the administration at the police department will find, I'm sorry, the fire department will find, some sort of a way to recognize their efforts and kind of a certificate of some sort or some sort of notification. Certainly on behalf of the Fire Commission, how much we appreciate that. It was quite a joint operation and a successful one, which is the most important part.
yes, sir.
We are planning to acknowledge a few people from a few different incidents that we had actually from last year and through this year. And we'll definitely add David's name to the list, of course.
Absolutely. And if you
For more
could,
than one incident,
right.
by the way.
There are many, believe me. And so if you, when you're having a ceremony or whatever, if you can invite the Fire Commission, that would be great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, now correspondence from Norwalk EMS, Chief.
So in the same vein, Robert Stork, I believe that's his name, from Norwalk Hospital, EMS educator, clinical coordinator, sent us an email. Just wanted to highlight that we had 3 cardiac arrest saves, which means these individuals were in full cardiac arrest. And with our intervention, along with PD and EMS, they've all successfully pretty much walked out of the hospital at some point. So without going into every single the day and the description of it, I just want to mention one in particular. June 22nd, every month there's a robotic competition down in South Norwalk. And there's a fire watch detail and an individual hired that's trained in EMS. And that particular, on June 22nd, on that particular night, we had one of our our deputy fire marshals, Brian Scully, and our firefighter, Matt Laurier, was hired for the EMS side of it. And they are the individuals that made first patient contact and began CPR and administered an AED defibrillator shock to the patient before EMS or Engine 5 even got there. So they were very instrumental in saving that individual's life. So I wanted to recognize them as well.
Very much so, yes. It's interesting. The defibrillators seem to be worth their weight in gold.
Oh, yes.
And the organization down there, with no problem at all, they went out and bought one and installed it. So it came in very handy.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I guess we have the retirement letters.
So the last thing, attached to the packet is the official letter of retirement for Roderick Sawyer with the revision date of June 20th on there. I just wanted to put that in the record officially.
Okay,
So that's done. And then the new one is Captain Tom Reedy. He's in the drop now, but he's going to retire effective August 31st of this year. And he submitted a letter back in June 18th to me. So I want to make you aware of that. Tom will be retiring again, August 31st, 2024. I don't have the years of his service. But I believe he's in the mid-20s.
Chief, he's in my class. He's we complete 27 years in
Okay.
December.
Right. So he'll have 27 years of service to the city.
right, and certainly on behalf of the Fire Commission in the city of Norwalk, we offer congratulations to Fire Marshal Sawyer and Captain Reedy, and wish them well in their retirement, which is well deserved, by the way. And so you have an active captains list, I believe.
Yes, captain and lieutenant.
Okay, so we would be wanting to move forward perhaps at the next commission meeting or sometime in between a special meeting of some sort to offer
them in.
promotions to
Yep.
the next two. And again, commissioners, any comments or?
No, just to echo your sentiments and gratitude for the years of service that these two gentlemen have provided to our fine organization and to wish them the best.
Thank you.
And since there is no more business to come before the Fire Commission, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner DeStrouge. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstentions. The time is 3:38, or in fire terms, 15:38. And we are, and for Mr. Dixon as well, we are adjourned. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Have a great one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay cool.
You too.
Yes.
Thank you.